Good evening. My name's Annie Conboy, and this is my letter from the light side on the 21st of October 2021. And it's lovely to be here with you and hopefully to channel in the guidance and inspiration that the guides, inspirers, and our loved ones in spirit want to bring and share with us this evening. Excuse me. That's my little signal that they're there and they're switching on. That's fabulous. And here we are in beautiful full moon energy. Quite a powerful full moon. So you might have been experiencing this week a bit of sleeplessness, a bit of restlessness. You might also have been experiencing a feeling of trying to sort things out. So getting things organised, maybe having a bit of a clear out. I certainly have been itching to do the housework and the clearing and the looking at the clutter and seeing what I don't need anymore. What can I repurpose? What can I send away to everybody? You might also have found that happening on an internal level as well. Lovely Rafe is with us at the moment, and he's talking about the things that have come up this week that might have niggled you or triggered you or brought to your attention things that maybe aren't going quite as well as you expected. One of the things that Rafe wants to talk about is our dreams, not just the dreams we have when we're asleep, but the dreams that we have of how life will be and how things will go for us. And sometimes when the dream happens, but it isn't the dream we thought it was, and it doesn't go the way we thought it should, we get niggled and we get triggered and we get perhaps a little bit grumpy. So you might have found yourself in a bit of a grumpy state one or two of the days this week. We are being encouraged, as always, to recognise our intuition. And our intuition's really strong at the moment because of the full moon energy, but also because we're coming up to a point when the energy, the veil between the worlds becomes thinner. So you may find that you are connecting more with your loved ones, or at least they're letting you know they're around. You may also find that you are finding kind of different threads coming together that maybe are starting to look like a plan, or maybe encouraging you to think, oh, there is a plan, this is wonderful. You also, I call it a time of signs and symbols. Last night, in the light of the moon, I saw a fox. Very much for me an interesting thing, because I do use a lot of animal totems, and so to see the gift of a fox wending its way in the dark night in the winter, it was quite cold last night, so it felt like the winter's night, was a really lovely experience, but a very strong sign for me about something in my life. So you might also have been getting little breakthroughs of visions, maybe sort of also one of the most understated of our psychic senses, claircognizance, kind of just knowing things without knowing how you know it. I get that quite, that is one of my stronger ones, but it's frustrating sometimes because you think, how do I know this? And Rafe always says, well, it's because of your ability. And I go, yeah, but I'd still like to know how I knew it. And then he just starts laughing, and I start laughing with him, because there is something about knowing, knowing without knowing how you know. So you might also have found in this time where the energy between the worlds is becoming thinner, that you are being given signals and messages and symbols in order to encourage you, and in order to really kind of try to pull your understanding of your intuition forward. We all have intuitive ability, every single one of us, but some choose to use it and develop it and some don't. And it's not about whether you choose to or not, it's whether if you switched on, paying attention to that information that comes in and letting yourself switch on to the inspiration and the guidance that your own guides are wanting to give you. It's really powerful in us when we switch on to that extra guidance, because then actually what starts to happen is your dreams start to be more flexible, so that when your dream comes in, you kind of go, oh yeah, that's all right, I'm on track, it's not exactly as I imagined it would be, but it's still okay, it's still good, I'm still ready to dream some more. And having faith in your intuition. Rafe worked with me, and a lot of the other guides, the team who worked with me, worked a lot to help me to trust my intuition, to understand that if I just go ahead and do it, even though it might look like it's not turned out quite how I wanted it to be, it will be the right thing in the end. And I think that's really important for us to remember in this lovely moon energy, because this is an excellent time to be sending out your dreams and wishes, an excellent time to be asking the universe to deliver on your dreams, and to remember that, you know, you're getting the nudges, you're getting the little steers from all of those lovely people who are around you in the non-physical. Your loved ones are here, so close at the moment, and they can help you. They can help you to see that the dream is there, but it might have come a bit different, or that the dream is still to come in, but it's okay. You know, wait it out. Sorry, it's being really cheeky because I am very impatient. And that's why they often don't say to me exactly what I'm going to be doing in the future, because I'll go, right, I want to do that now. Oh, can I do that now? And I'm not quite ready in some way to do whatever it is they want me to do as a matter of spiritual service. And they also... Sorry. Rafe also knows I'm easily distracted. So when I'm impatient, it's like, oh, I want to do this, but I also want to do that, and I want to do that, and let me do this. So when you're using the full moon energy, when you're thinking about what are my dreams, remember they will come in at a pace that is right for you. And I remember something that was said to me often when I was young, because I was so impatient, and it was, a watched kettle never boils. And even today I have to walk away from my kettle if I'm boiling water, because as soon as I flick the switch, it should be boiled. So think about what's been happening for you this week as part of the moon's encouragement to dream, but also to understand that the dreams may take a little while to manifest. You know, our loved ones in spirit, they'll tell you that in their afterlife, in their world, they can manifest, they can bring it in, pink, pink, pink. But in our life, it goes a lot slower because we're in heavier energy. So they want you to understand that even though it doesn't feel like, you know, some days I think, oh, it's been a year, or it's been 6 months, or it's been 3 minutes, and it hasn't happened yet. And then other times I sort of think, yeah, I'd like that, and boom, it happens. So it's about putting ourselves in the state of receiving and recognizing that we can have what we want, what we require and desire, but we might have to just wait for the universe to align to bring that specific thing in. That doesn't mean we're not going to get anything else that we require and desire. In fact, those things might come in anyway first, before our, you know, whatever we're focused on. And Rafe wants to talk about that focus. Put your focus into other things while you're waiting for the delivery of your dream. He's also talking about something that he feels is really important at the moment. The energy that we're in globally is about trying to understand our human nature, trying to bring in the spiritual side of ourselves, the intuitive side to the surface more. And so we will find it being like 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. We never lose anything when we go back a step. It gives us a point of reflection so we can move forward again. And we've got some energy coming in next Wednesday, Thursday, which is about forward momentum, really strong, powerful energy. So it's almost like pacing yourself for the rest of this time, focusing on sorting out what the niggles and the triggers are, and recognizing that you've got choices. I don't always love it when things come to the surface and I go, oh, I'm feeling like that. Why am I feeling like that? But what it does make me do is focus. It makes me kind of go, oh, right, okay, I am feeling like that. Why am I feeling like that? And it helps me to work out, is it my feeling or is it somebody else's feeling? You know, it could be another human around me's feeling, or it could be the non-physical beings putting their feelings through to me. The working out so that I can understand and I can sort out whether I want to carry on being triggered by the feeling and any kind of memory that's attached to that feeling, or any kind of thoughts that are attached to that feeling. Now, the reason Rafe's bringing this forward is as we pass through the full moon energy, we send out our wishes and our desires, we then move into the waning moon. The moon shrinks again, so that we get in less moon energy. And it's really a good time to be letting go. I mean, this moon is giving us the energy. Come on, you don't need all that clutter, or you don't need the... Oh, sorry, I'm laughing. I'm just thinking about my room. You know, the moon is sort of shaking us and saying, oh, come on, you don't need all that old emotion. You don't need those stuck patterns and the thoughts that you've had. Just move it on. And of course, for the next 2 weeks is a perfect time as the moon starts that waning journey, just letting it go. So especially anything that's particularly irritating or annoying right now, it surfaces for us to see it and deal with it. And then when it's surfaced, what we have to do is we have to let it go. And I'm really sorry, I'm going to just cut in. I've just seen, I don't normally look at what you write immediately, but hi Pablo, and hello Lorelei Mayer, hello everyone. Lorelei just came to Earth this week, so I think she's officially my youngest viewer. Fabulous. And so what we're on at the minute is this lovely switch of into the clearing energy, into the releasing energy, into getting ourselves prepped for the next new moon. I love to use the new moon, well, first of all, I love to use the influence of the moon in my life because it's the emotional energy. It represents our emotion. The sun represents our practical material world. The moon represents our emotions. And I love to use new moon energy to set myself the new target. What am I going to work at? What am I going to focus on? Ray's laughing and saying it's about time. But it's a really lovely way to begin the moon cycle, is to start to get that new beginnings energy, to bring that new beginnings in, and to let that energy flow out into the world, because we generate energy and pass it into the world. It's not static, it moves out and in. So as we get a couple of weeks to sort of say, right, let's sort things, then we're going to get that lovely new beginning energy and pick up the momentum. And if you start to look at life as those cycles of beginnings and endings, and look at when the energy flows your way and when it flows against you, it's much easier. Rafe is wanting you to understand it is so much easier when you're going with the flow of the tide. So if the tide's going out, go with it. If it's coming in, go with it. This will help you to make sure those dreams come in exactly the right time for you. We do have, on a global level, big tasks to deal with. We've got lots and lots of changes that require us to be more intuitively aware and more spiritual about how we live our lives. And it's important to start thinking about, where do I make the little changes? Because actually little changes are much easier than massive big changes, because we tweak those little changes, they get to become our pattern, and then we can go and do the next set of changes. So there was quite a lovely conversation yesterday evening about eco awareness, and each of us doing something because we've been prompted, we've been made to think, that's something I can do. It's the same with your intuition. You can do little steps. You can start to trust that feeling. If it says no, don't do it, you can start to trust that feeling. If it says yeah, do that, you can start to trust that feeling, because whatever happens on a material level, if you're using your intuitive flow, what you're doing is setting up the next set of steps so that you get to where you want to go. That's what has always astounded me about living an intuitive life. The material life is still there. The world still matters, and I still do things that everybody else does. But alongside it, I know that I'm navigating through life in a very different way. I'm not using the head so much as I'm using the heart. And what does it feel? Does it feel good? And it may sound strange, but I can do massive amounts of letting go of, charity shopping and taking things to be recycled. I can do massive amounts of that when I'm in the energy that is the releasing energy. I can go, yeah, let's get on and do that. If I'm not in the releasing energy, then I'm pushing against myself and hoarding and holding on. So getting into the cycles of energy, using your intuition to tune you in, and especially, as I said, at the moment when it's so much easier to be able to have that connection with our loved ones in spirit, with all the non-physical beings, because we've got energy working in our favour to make that happen. And we're coming to the point, and I love this, the point where if you work on a pagan tradition or a Wicca tradition, that we're coming to an end of a year and the beginning of the next year. But what I love, really adore about this time of year, is all the celebrations of endings and new beginnings that start to happen. We've got a calendar year turning. We've got various festivals of light that are happening. We're recognizing that we're in a cycle of life, and that's so in keeping with the intuitive flow, because it's all about the cycles of the energy and plugging into the energies that are helpful, and kind of staying away from the energies that are a bit no, not the right energy. Energizing ourselves, doing things that really help us to pick up on all the benefits of having that positive higher energy. So as you move through the next week, notice what doesn't suit you anymore. Notice what doesn't have any meaning, or it's in the past, and take the opportunity to let it go. Oh no, I'm going to have that song in my head all night now. Rafe's already singing, let it go, let it go. So be focused on, what am I carrying that I don't need to carry? If each of us can work on releasing a little bit of what weighs us down, the world gets lighter. The world gets more love in it because we're not burdened. So finding what's weighing you down and having a think about, right, how do I change this up? How do I swap this round? And remember, this is a good time for the guides to be tapping on your shoulder and saying, you need to do that, you need to do this. They are trying to get the messages through to you whatever way they can. So be open to that. It's not necessarily always the rational mind that has to make the final decision, and that you can boost yourself. You can choose things that actually might seem a bit stray or random to other people, but for you it feels right, so you're going to do it. Also, over the next week, start to maybe have a little chat with yourself about, okay, what direction am I going in? Where's my life taking me? Where are my dreams? Have I got any dreams? Have I stopped dreaming because I haven't got what I want and I need to start dreaming again? Or have I got everything I want? I've got mostly everything I want. There's a few things still to come in, and I think that most people find that when they think they've got everything they want, there's something else that pops in, something else they require or desire. So have a little think about that. Start the preparation work for that beautiful new moon energy, for the turn of the year, because the year turns and we are ready to plant new seeds, to look at what else we want to explore and grow, and what adventures we want to have. And part of Rafe's wish for all of us, for humanity, is that we could be brave enough to set off on a new adventure. An adventure to bring us together rather than to divide us. We are in a very fractured, divided time. Interestingly enough, if we go back about 400 years or so, we were in the same sort of time. It was considered to be the end of days, and revelations were coming true, and we're here again in the end of days with the idea that revelations is coming true, and everybody's looking for the signs of the end of the world or Armageddon. And Rafe's smiling and saying, we're ending, definitely ending, but we're ending behaviours that divide us, beliefs that divide us, structures that divide us, all of those things that keep us thinking it's them against us and us against them. He wants to highlight that what we are being encouraged to do, especially with our intuitive insight into what spiritual life represents, to start to build the bridges back to one another, to start to recognise the strength of the community. And you may very well, at times I've thought, oh, what can I do? I don't understand about community, or, how can it affect me? But it's this thing of, we will get there in the end, bit by bit, as we recognise in ourselves how to unite ourselves inwardly and trust this intuition. It will give us the steps we need to take, the words we need to speak, and the actions we need to do in order to become united, and in order for us to get the benefit of the best possible positive energy. So it's going to be an interesting week. Just protect yourself Saturday into Sunday with a little bit of low vibrational energy. Sometimes world events make us go, oh, yeah, and it can pull us down a little bit. We're just shaking out the niggles and the irritations and the aggravations. We're seeing what's there below the surface of the choices we make about being human. So when as you feel these energies, just relax, rest, trust your intuition to steer you through, and most of all, remember the beautiful flow of positive love that's here, especially from your loved ones in spirit right now. They are boosting us no end. They want to help us, and they know that we need their love in order to unite. So I'm saying thank you to all the loved ones of everybody in the world, because they are trying so hard to make sure we get their loving vibration. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week and some pleasant and enjoyable time to yourself. Thank you, everybody who's commented. I will get to the comments as soon as I can. I do appreciate everybody who recommends this and passes the word along. It's so my guides are so delighted if anybody tunes in and watches. So thank you very much, and have a good week. And I will be back next Thursday. Yeah, it is Thursday. Next Thursday. Bye.